Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got some 1961 Braves baseball. We're almost at the end of the year. The final series of the regular season, a 3-game set against the Giants. We thought this was going to be a battle for the pennant, but the Braves have already clinched. Let's take a look at the San Francisco visiting team's lineup for game number 153. We got leading off playing left field Harvey Kuhn. Batting second, playing second is Joey Amalfitano. Batting third, playing center field Willie Mays. Batting fourth, playing first base is Orlando Cepeda. Batting fifth, playing right field is Felipe Alou. Batting sixth, playing third base is Jim Davenport. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Ed Bailey. Batting eighth, playing shortstop is Jose Pagan. And batting ninth on the mound for the San Francisco Giants is Jack Sanford. Take a look at the hometown Milwaukee Braves starting lineup. We got leading off playing right field Lee May. Batting second, playing second is Frank Boland. Batting third, playing third is Eddie Matthews. Batting fourth, playing center field is Hank Aaron. Batting fifth, playing first base is Joe Adcock. Batting sixth, playing left field is Frank Thomas. Batting seventh and doing the catching is Joe Torre. Batting eighth and playing shortstop is Roy McMillan. Batting ninth and doing the pitching is Warren Spahn. Let's get down here to Milwaukee County Stadium and get this game started, folks. This is Warren Spahn's 34th start of the year. He's got a 2.29 ERA. He's 20-6, and he's got 16 complete games. First batter he'll be facing is Harvey Kuhn, batting .281 with 7 home runs and 41 RBIs. And here's the pitch to Harv. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Aaron, playing center field today for the Braves. Out number 1. 1 up and 1 down. And that'll bring up Joey Amalfitano. And Joey on the year had a good year, batting .299, 2 home runs and 42 RBIs. I'm sure he'd like to get that average up over 300. And that is going to be a fly ball in the center field, and Aaron going back, makes the catch for out number 2. Nice play by Hank out there in center field. That brings up Willie the Say Hey Kid, batting .307 with 37 home runs and 106 RBIs. Here's the pitch to May, and that's going to be a base on ball. Willie trots on down to first. And with 1 out, Orlando Cepeda's up, having a great year, batting .302, 37 home runs, 127 RBIs. Excuse me, here's the pitch to Orlando. And that is going to be a ground ball down the short. And that'll be it for the G-Men, as McMillan goes over to second for the final out. And that'll bring up top of the order here. Giants nothing. May, Boland, and Matthews due up to face Jack Sanford. This is Jack's 33rd start of the year. He's got a 4.09 ERA. He's 12-14. with 6 complete games and a save. Hey, Aaron, how's it going? And here's the pitch to Lee May, batting .232. Not a great year, with 15 home runs, 38 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Mays in center field, a canner corn for out number 1. And that'll bring up Frank Bolin now, batting .287, having a great year with 18 home runs, 79 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Frank. And that's going to be another fly ball out to center field. They may want to try something different instead of hitting the ball out to Willie. That'll bring up Eddie. Eddie Matthews having a fine year. 302, 36 home runs, 119 RBIs. Here's the pitch to the Eddie Matthews. And he tries something different, but it didn't work. That's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And Felipe Alou's out there today for the Giants. 3 fly balls, 3 outs. We get to the top of the second, no score. Talking about Alou, he's going to lead off, followed by Davenport and Bailey. Felipe's batting .281, having a great year with 26 home runs, 64 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Alou. Skip to Alou, my darling, is a fly ball out to Frank Thomas in left field, 1 out. And that brings up Jim Davenport. And Jimmy's batting .296, having a great year with 16 home runs, 69 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Spahn's first strikeout of the game. 2 up and 2 down here in the second. Deuce is wild. We got Ed Bailey batting .267 with 10 home runs and 46 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Lee May. He's patrolling right field. He's got it. And the Giants go down 1, 2, 3. Brings us to the bottom of the second. Aaron, Adcock, and Thomas. Hank batting .304 on the year with 33 home runs. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, bud. Glad to hear that. With 122 RBIs, here's the pitch to Hank. And that ball is well hit. He squares this all up. And that ball is driven into the gap off the wall. Felipe Alou goes over and grabs it, throws it in. But Hank's standing down at second with a leadoff double. And that'll bring up Joe Adcock. Batting .281. He's got 38 home runs of his own with 121 RBIs. Joe having a great year. Can he drive in Aaron and put the Braves on top? And that's going to be a fly ball in the center field. Not going to be deep enough to get Aaron over to third. So now there's 1 out and a runner still in scoring position for Frank Thomas. And Frank's batting .269. He's got 28 home runs of his own, 84 RBI since joining the Bravos. And that ball is high, that ball is far, that ball is going, going, going. Home run to deep center field out there in the trees. And it is 2-0 Milwaukee. Nice job by Frank Thomas, his 27th home run of the year. That'll bring up Joe Torre, who's not having a good year. Only batting .243 with 9 home runs and 44 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Joe. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Davenport. He throws across the diamond for out number 2. So Jack settles down after the home run. That'll bring up Roy McMillan, batting .215, 9 home runs, 55 RBIs. Hey, Mike. Like I say, Roy not doing well at the plate, but he is a hell of a defensive shortstop for the Braves this year. And that's going to be a ground ball again down to Davenport. So 2 ground balls down to Davenport ends the inning, but not until Frank Thomas puts the Braves on top 2-0 with a 2-run homer. We go to the top of the third. Pagan, Sanford, and Harvey due up here. And Pagan's batting .285. Nice year for him. 4 home runs, 46 RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. That's Spahn's second strikeout of the game. 1 down here. That brings up his counterpart, Jack Sanford batting a .154, but he does have 2 home runs and 9 RBIs, so you can't groove one here. Here's the pitch to Jack. And that is going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. And I want to look here. I think one of those home runs may have been against the Braves, if I remember correct. Go to Daly here. I think that 2-for-3 home run game there was the Braves in September, if I remember correctly. So Jack strikes out for out number 2. And we're back to the top of the order. Harvey flew out to Aaron his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Joe Adcock. He'll take it himself. And the G-men go down 1, 2, 3. Sure, you can join the stream, Aaron. Give me a second here. There you go, bud. So now we go to the bottom of the third. We got SPAHN, May, and Bolin due up here. Warren having a hell of a year at the plate and on the mound. He's batting .214, 3 home runs of his own, 10 RBIs. So Jack's got to be careful with him too. Here's the pitch to Warren. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes SPAHN out. And that wasn't supposed to come up there. Wrong place. We'll delete that. Don't need to see that. And that wasn't supposed to come up there. Wrong. Alrighty, now let's get it where it's supposed to be. There we go. That's a strikeout for SPAHN. We're back to the top of the order in May. And Lee's batting .232. He flew out the Willie his first time up. And not this time. He puts that ball in the center left field. And that's going to drop in there for a base hit. Lee Mays aboard with 1 out for Frank Bolin. See if the Braves can get something started here in the third. And Frank flew out the Willie his first time up also. And again, that one's going to be hit down the third. Davenport's going to throw over to first. And Lee will get down to second now with 2 outs. And Eddie Matthews is up. And let's see if Eddie can drive in Lee May with 2 outs here. He flew out the Lewis first time up. And they don't want no parts of Matthews. They're going to walk him. So Eddie's going to walk on down to first. That brings up Hank now with runners on first and second and 2 out. And the Hammer, he doubled his first time. Came around to score. Here comes Aaron in.
Wait.
All righty, let's see if Hank can drive in 2 runs here, folks, and make this a 4-0 game. Here's the pitch to Hank. And that is going to be well hit. He squares this one up. And that ball is driven in gap in left field. And that's going to score 2. And just like that, it is 4-0. Milwaukee over the G-men.
Oh, Milwaukee.
Yeah, what made Milwaukee famous has made a fool out of me.
Nice Jerry Lee Lewis reference.
Yeah.
I actually know that. I wasn't even alive yet, and I actually know that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. The old killer.
Didn't he pass away not that long ago?
Not that long ago. Yeah, didn't score Matthews. Yeah, he outlived a lot of them. Who would have thought that, the life he had?
Oh, yeah. Let me see. Jerry Lee Lewis. Here we go. It's probably going to be a long Wikipedia page to pull up.
Oh, heck yeah.
He died He was born September 29th, 1935, Fairdale, Louisiana. He died October 28th, 2022. He was 87 years old.
Yeah, I knew it hasn't been that long ago.
Nesbitt,
Yeah,
Mississippi.
yeah, because him and old Gilly and
Elvis,
Swagger was all cousins, all of them. Him and Mickey Gilly.
Mickey Gill.
Yeah,
Oh, I like Mickey Gilly.
yeah, they was cousins. Hey, Slash, I'm glad we got you straightened out last night, buddy. So now we got
Slash.
Joe Adcock up, Braves up 4-0. And Joe driving a run. He flew out to Willie his first time up. And not this time. He's not. That's going to be a ground ball down to short. He'll throw across the diamond. What's going on here? Throw across the diamond to get him. And that'll end the inning. But the Braves score 2 on the Aaron 2-run double and take a 4-0 lead as we get to the top of the fourth. Amalfitano, Mays, and Cepeda do up here.
Amalfitano?
Yeah, old Joey.
Joey
Yeah.
Amalfitano.
Yep.
He
He's
managed the
having a hell of a
Dodgers
year
for
for
a
the
while, I
Giants.
think.
Batted .298 this year for him in the replay. He flew out to Hank his first time up. And Kenny getting him again. Here's the pitch to him. Not this time. That's a ball well hit in the right field. Lee May hustles over, gets to it, cuts it off. Amalfitano makes a wide turn, but he'll head back to first with a leadoff single. That
Is it
brings up Willie Mays now with a runner on the first, nobody out. They walked
is
Willie
it
the first time up.
is it me or has Lee May been around the block multiple times?
There's a lot of Lee May, though. So that's
I mean,
why.
it
Yeah,
seems
there's
like
like
Lee
two.
May's been everywhere.
Yeah, there's like two
I
of them.
mean, because there was a Lee May who played in Cincinnati and a Lee May who played in Cleveland
Well, I
and a
think
Lee
the one
May
that
who
played in Cincinnati also played in Baltimore, if I remember correctly.
that's just nuts.
Yep. Yeah, like I say, there's been at least two of them I can know in the history. Maybe three. Yep.
Right. Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Can Willie do something here? Here's the pitch from SPAHN. And that's going to be a tailor-made double play. The ball hit down the second. Boland's up with it. He tosses it over to Mac, over to Adcock. 4-6-3 double play. Wipes out the Malfitano hit. And now we got Cepeda up.
I should probably shut
Lando
that
looking for home
Bluetooth
run number
speaker off. I
38
don't want you
here.
getting in trouble or anything.
What's that?
I should probably shut the Bluetooth speaker off. I don't want you getting in trouble or anything. Unless it's not a bother. Then
I can't even hear it, Aaron. Yeah.
okay, fair enough. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. So Peta reached on a fielder's choice his first time
The
up.
bull.
And
Right.
that's going to be I think a hit by pitch. No, that's going to be a
Ooh.
ground ball back to the mound. Warren SPAHN air mails that one. That's going to be a two-base error, and I keep hitting the wrong darn buttons here. See if we can get this straight. And he air mails it, and Cepeda's going to end up down at second. So we got a runner down in scoring position with 2 outs. And that'll bring up Felipe Alou.
Felipe Alou.
Flew out the left his first time up.
The infamous Alou family.
Yeah, they got Matty's on this team also.
Felipe,
Yeah.
Matty, Jesus,
Yep.
later Moises.
Matty had a good year for him. He didn't play a lot in 61 for him, but he had a good year for him. Felipe played in 123 games so
did
far.
did you know that? And I was a little confused when I heard this too. That last year the Nationals had a player named Jake Alou,
No, I
but it's
didn't.
not. Yeah, it's not the Alou family. It's Alou, like I think it's ALU. So it's Alou,
Gotcha.
not Alou. I think I don't know.
Right.
I don't know where because Tommy Thrall on the Reds made mention of it, goes, this is not one of the Alou family members. But go ahead.
There was a lot of them.
There was a lot of Alous.
Yep, there was. Here is the pitch to Felipe. Let's see what he can do with 2 outs and a. Oh, that's right. Cepeda's supposed to be down at second. What happened there? Supposed to end it up down at second. Trying to get that straightened out here. Should have been a 2-base error. What the heck's going on?
Your game's going loopy.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm hitting the freaking I'm seeing a 0 up there, and I'm probably hitting the freaking O button instead of the 0 button.
I've done that before.
Yeah, I bet you that's what I'm doing.
Although not with this, no.
Yeah, bet you that's what I'm doing. And I'm seeing it, thinking it's a damn 0.
Are we
There
at
we
county?
go. Yeah, this is in Milwaukee. Yep. Then after
Yes.
they play a doubleheader against the Giants on October 1st, they traveled to New York for the World Series on October 4th. I already got it set up.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yep.
Yankees and the Braves in the 61 Fall Classic. That'll be fun.
Yes, it will. It should be a hell of a game. Yep.
Hell of a
I think
series,
the
not just a
Yankees'
game.
batting order is a lot deeper. But with a with a 7-game series, who knows?
Right.
And both of them's going with a 3-man rotation. So
3-man rotation.
yeah. I looked it up. The Reds went with a 3-man rotation, so I figured I'll do the same with the Braves. I know the
That
Yankees went with a 3-man rotation.
that kind of weakened. I mean, like I think it was it Bob Gibson in '64. He pitched like 3 games and he ran himself dry basically because he wore himself out but he finished the last game. I mean, that's impressive. I
Yeah,
mean,
well, with the 61 series, it only won 5 games.
yeah, because the
Yeah,
Reds got
Reds.
swept.
Yeah, they
No, they
won.
won a game actually.
Yeah, they won a. If I remember correctly, they won game 2. Don't hold me to it. It was either game 2 or game 3, but I think it was
Yeah,
game 2. I
because
think it was the Ralph Terry game they won.
the Re- um,
Yeah.
but because the Reds had Gene Freese on the mound. I think it was Gene Freese.
Um, it was probably either Joey J or O'Toole probably pitched game
It might
2.
have been Joey J actually.
Yeah. I don't know which one pitched the first game, but I would have thought their rotation would have been O'Toole, J, and Perky. It would have
I think it
been
was
the
that's who
3-man
it was
rotation, if I
actually.
remember right.
Because I was reading that people said that the 1960 Pirates didn't had no business winning the World Series, but they did. They got the breaks. I mean,
They won the close
Mazeroski
games. The
going
Yankees
deep.
blew them out on the games they won, and the Pirates won the close ones. I forget how bad they got outscored in that series.
Oh, it was crazy.
Gibson has 255 complete games, 251 wins. Cool, man. Yeah,
Good grief.
that's crazy, ain't it? Alrighty, let's see if
That's
Alou can do
that goes to
anything
my
with
English teacher.
Cepeda
She's a
down at
Cardinals
second.
fan.
Oh, and he does. He drives that ball in right field, and that's going to score Cepeda. So the air comes back to bite the Braves in the butt,
Ooh, there
and
goes a
this is a
shutout.
4-1 ball game now.
There goes a shutout.
Yeah,
No pay window today. Well,
and
there
now
will
you
be,
got
just
Alou
not
down
right
at
now.
first for Jim Davenport. Jim struck out his first time up. Let's see if Warren can do the same again. Not this time. That's going to be a ground ball down the third. He's going to fire over to first to get Davenport. And that'll end the inning. But the Giants take advantage of Spahn's error and score 1. It's 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 4th. Thomas, Torrey, and McMillan do up here. Frank homered
Roy
his first time
McMillan.
up. Let's see if he can do it again. That was his 29th home run and his 87th RBIs of the year. Not this time. That's a ground ball down the second. Amalfitano's got it. He'll fire over to first for out number 1. Here comes Joe.
Don't mind me,
Braves are
Dwayne.
going to need him to get
I'm just
hot going
chewing on
into this
some.
World Series, having a disappointing year, and he's grounded out the third last time up. And he does get a base hit, goes the other way with it, drives that ball into right field. Lou gets over, throws it in. Joe's down at first with a single. Here comes Mac.
I'm just chewing on some Caribbean jerk beef
Yeah, I
jerky.
like beef jerky. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I mean, if they sold jerky at baseball games, they make a could you imagine the money they'd make?
Right,
Get your
exactly.
jerky here.
Right. Yep. See what old Mac does here. He is 0 for 1 grounded out to Davenport his first time up. And not this time. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. And Pagan's going to throw that ball away. That's going to be an E6. That's going to allow Dory to get the third. And Mac's going to hold up at first, though. So now we got first and third and 1 out. And here comes Warren SPAHN. Can he help himself out? Like I say, Warren's got 3 home runs on the year. He did strike out his first time up. And he get a key base hit here and give himself a 4-run lead again. And that's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Is that going to be deep enough to get Joe in? It is. It's a nice piece of hitting by SPAHN. And it's now 5-1 ball game. Now there's 2 outs and McMillan down at first for Lee May. Lee did get a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 2 and came around the score. Here's the pitch to May. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That'll end the inning. But the Braves score 1 thanks to the error on Pagan. And it's now 5-1 as we go to the 5th. We got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Giants. Bailey, Pagan, and Sanford. Ed flew out to right field his first time up. Soul timers can't chew too much turkey. I hear you, man. Here's the pitch to Ed. And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. That's SPAHN's 4th strikeout of the game. 1 up and 1 down. Here comes Jose. And he struck out his first time up. Can SPAHN get back-to-back strikeouts? And no, that's going to be a lazy fly ball in the right field. May's got it. And now we got Jack Sanford up. And he struck out his first time up. And that's a swing and a miss, strike 2. So he's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. And we go to the bottom of the 5th. We got the big boys coming up. Boland, then Matthews and Aaron. Frank flew out and grounded out. Can he get on base and set the table for Matthews and Aaron? And that is going to be a single in left field. Nice job. He's on board. Here comes the big boys. Here's Eddie. He is 0 for 1. He walked the last time up, came around the score on the Frank Thomas Aaron double. Almost gave him a home run. That's going to be a ground ball down the short. And that's going to be thrown over to Amalfitano, over to Orlando, and that's going to be a double play. So now Hank's coming up with nobody on and 2 outs. Hank's having a hell of a game. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and 2 RBIs. Deuce is wild. Let's see what he does this time. And he squares this one up. Man, he's seeing the ball well today. And that ball is driven into the gap in right field. And that's his 3rd double of the game, folks. 3 for 3 with 3 doubles. So Hank down there at second. How big was that double play? Talking about doubles.
Costly. Yes. You could have had 2 on. You could have had 2 on and nobody out.
Exactly.
With that.
Yep. And a run in. At least a run in. Matthews may have scored. Now we got Adcock up. He's 0 for 2. Fly ball and a
Well, it would have
grounder.
been 1 on and nobody out if that had been the
And now
case.
we got a base on balls for Joe. He
Yep.
trots on down to first. So first and second. Braves making some noise again here with 2 outs. Here's Frank Thomas. He's 1 for 2. Homered in the second inning. Can he do it here in the fifth? And no, that's going to be a swing
Nope.
and a miss. Jack gets him.
Strike 3.
And that ends
Take
the
a
inning.
seat,
The Braves
Frank.
leave 2. We go to the top of the second. Harvey, Malfitano, and Willie due up here in the 6th.
Harvey.
Harvey Wallbanger is 0 for 2 with a fly out and a ground out. And that's going to be another fly ball. And this one out to center field again. Aaron's got it measured and makes the catch. 1 down. No, you're thinking of Necro was the knuckleballer for the Braves. Yeah.
That's Phil, by the way.
Yep.
Phil
Yeah.
Necro.
Yeah, that SPAHN.
He was in Atlanta forever, wasn't he?
Yeah, it was sad to see him leave. He went from Atlanta to New York, signed the free agent contract with the Yankees. Yep, in the late 80s, like 86, 87, something like that. About the same year they got rid of Murphy. They got rid of Phil. Well, like I say, didn't offer him a
No, they had Dale Murphy till at least, what was it, 1990?
Yeah.
Because he was a Philly in 91.
Yeah, it was in the late 80s, early 90s when they traded him. And like I say, then he retired the year before they won the damn series up there.
He retired when he was in Colorado, and then 94 was the strike.
Yep.
It's a shame he couldn't have stayed.
I know. I like the Murph.
Could you imagine the outfield back then in 95 if Murphy had been there?
Oh, exactly.
You'd have Murphy, Justice, or like left to right. You probably would have had like Grissom, Murphy, and Justice most likely.
Well, they pissed me off when they traded him. If they wanted to trade him as a ball club, they should have traded him a year, maybe 2 years earlier. They'd have got more for him. They hang on and didn't get much at all for him. And there's the backbone of your team not being able to retire with you. It did, in my opinion, as a fan, it made no sense.
Sure.
Once you kept him that long, you should have kept him and let him retire. Trading him away then didn't help the team much.
I mean,
and Malfitano is going to ground out to Frank Bolin, his counterpart, for out number 1.
Shortstop for second baseman.
Down here. That'll bring up Willie Mays.
Hey, say hey, Willie.
And Willie walked and grounded into a double play. And he's going to fly out to Lee May. And that'll end the inning. Mays to May.
Say hey to Lee May.
Yeah. And that'll do it for the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th, the bottom part of the order. Torrey, McMillan, and SPAHN. Joe 1 for 2 with a single and came around the scores last time up. Did he get his batting average up to the 250 mark before the end of the year? That is the question.
Is that Frank or Joe?
Joe Torrey.
Torrey. Because there was a Frank Torrey who played with the Milwaukee Braves in the 50s.
His brother, I believe.
Those.
Yep.
That was his brother? I didn't know that.
I believe. Don't hold me to it.
All right.
Yep. I know he had a brother that died when he was up in New York. He was real close to. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
They had a big thing about his brother passing away back then. I think it was one of the years, of course, they won the series. He dedicated it to him. And that's going to be a single in the left field. Joe's getting hot here. So 2 singles down at first with nobody out for Roy McMillan.
Roy McMillan.
0 for 2 today. Grounded out and reached on an error.
County Mac.
And that's going to be a swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 out. Here comes SPAHN. He had a sacrifice fly his last time up. And he struck out his first time up. And that one's well hit. SPAHN gets a hold of this. We don't need no stinking DH. And that's going to be a double in the right field. And that
Down
is
with the DH.
going to get Joe down to third. He's going to hold up there. So now we
Runners
got
in
second
scoring
and third
position.
and one out. What's that, Aaron?
Runners in score position. One down.
Yeah, I'm using
Look
just
out.
APBA basic. Yep, just the basic game.
This isn't baseball for Windows. Otherwise, Dwayne wouldn't be talking.
Yeah,
Ernie
he's
would be
talking
doing
about
the
if I'm
talk.
using the master game.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
yeah. We're going to bring the infield in. They can't afford to give up any more runs. Lee, he's 1 for 3, came around the score, struck out his last time out, and flew out the center his other time up. Here's the pitch to Lee. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. Strike 3. A
Ooh,
strikeout
strike
by Jack.
three. Pine
2 down
time.
now. Can Frank come up with a 2-out base hit? He's 1 for 3, singled his last time up, flew out the center, and grounded out the third. Yeah, I like basic. Like I say, a lot of people caught up on it, but you can look at these stats for the Yankees and the Braves. They're damn close. They ain't off by much. That's going to be a lazy fly ball out to Harvey and left. The Braves are
Oof.
going to strand too. We go to the top of the 7th. It's 5-1
All
Milwaukee.
of that and nothing to show for it.
Exactly. That double, old Torrey couldn't come around to score from first. We got the big boys due up here, Cepeda and Lou, and then Davenport. Let's see if they can make some noise. Orlando reached on a fielder's choice and reached on an error and came around to score. And that's going to be a base hit. No, it's not. Aaron makes a nice catch out there.
Ooh, look out,
Robbed
Hank.
him of it. Gave him the base hit too quick. Nice play by Hank. Rob Cepeda of a hit. That brings up Felipe Alou. He's 1 for 2 with an RBI. And this is going to be a base hit in front of Aaron. He can't get to that one. It
He couldn't
drops
get
in
to that
there.
one.
Alou down at first. Yeah, the only reason I've been playing the basic is, of course, broadcasting. It takes me longer, but I can do a basic game in 20 or 30 minutes.
That's
If I did the
crazy.
master game and broadcast it, it'd probably take me about an hour and a half to
It'd probably
almost two
take you
hours.
like about 2 hours or something like
Yeah,
that.
I'll figure an hour and a half to 2 hours if I did the master. At the end of the year, it should be down to an hour and a half because after a while, you don't need to do all the math all the time. Once you know the what they call the hit number and the runner's
Yeah.
speeds, you can almost tell if he's got a shot or not. You don't have to do the math all the time to find out he's almost automatically going to make it or he's automatically going to be out. There's only a handful of times where you got to check to see what you want to do.
Damn, that's insane. I
I
mean,
know
I know, I know this
Gil,
is
he's real
based
good at it. That Tebow they call him.
Tebow.
Yeah, he plays the master game all the time. So does Ken Castro. And like I
Yeah,
say, they know when it's like the hit number's like 50 or 60 and you got a good runner that he's almost guaranteed to advance. And if the hit number's like 20 or 30, hardly anybody's going to advance. So,
baseball is the very statistical game. As far
oh,
as the
exactly.
players are concerned, they're just out there to play. You got
Yep.
all these people that are that have to practically, you know, crunch the numbers every single day. I mean, it's like here's how this for for I don't know how many players per season. It's just insane. I mean, yet to the players, all they do is go out there and play.
Right.
I mean, it's as
Yep.
simple as that.
Well, you're figuring that there's got to be about nowadays around 13,000 players that actually play at least one game a year.
Right.
You're figuring 30 or 40 per the 30 some teams. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep. I mean, some of them have 50 some players come up and play for them. It's
oh
crazy.
man. I mean,
That's one thing I
with
like about the older seasons. The rosters aren't that big. You got
no, it's like
you're starting 8, and that's pretty much your starting 8 the whole year. It's
Yeah,
not like this guy played
unless
30, this
somebody
guy
gets
played
unless
40,
somebody
this
gets
guy
hurt.
played 50, and you got to fool with the lineups all the time.
Unless
Let's see if
somebody gets hurt.
Davenport can do something here. He struck out and grounded out. Oh, Tebow's got every season too. That's cool, man. That's money there. That man could retire if he sold them all. And
He
that's
make a
going to be
killing.
a fly ball out the right field. That's 2 down. May makes a nice catch out there. And Felipe's going to stay put at first. That brings up Ed Bailey. Can Ed do something? He's 0 for 2. He's flew out and struck out. Here's the pitch to Ed. And that's going to be another fly ball out the left field. And that'll do it for the Giants. They strand 1. We go to the 7th inning stretch.
Out to the ball game. Hey, meet up with the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and crackers. I get a Slim Jim. I don't care if I ever get back 4-inch root. Root for the Bravos. If they don't win, it's a shame. For it's 1, 2, 3 strikes, you're out at the old ball game.
Harvey joins his
Yeah.
son Skip in the booth with PBS. I like the old Skip Carey too.
I can't do a good Skip Carey
Yeah,
for some
old
reason.
Skip and Ernie and Pete.
Ernie Johnson, Pete Van
Yeah,
Wieren, and Skip, even John Sterling in the '80s.
yes, that's who was
Which
with them. That was the
can you
4 of them.
imagine if he'd have stayed in Atlanta in the '90s,
Right.
calling
Yeah.
the Braves, winning the '95 World Series?
Right.
Oh my God, that would have been something.
Because they used to switch in the 5th inning. One would go over and do the radio. The other crew would come over and finish the
They would alternate, yeah,
yeah, do the broadcast of the TV and finish. Yeah, like you
because it was
say.
like Skip and well,
I think it was Skip and Ernie, if I
Skip and
remember.
Ernie, and then it was like John. And then sometimes it would be John and Pete. Sometimes they would alternate. It would be John and Pete starting, and then Skip and Ernie would come in later. And
Yep.
then in the '90s, it was like you had Don Sutton, who just retired,
Yes, he
Joe
did come over.
Joe
Yep.
Simpson.
Yep.
I mean, they had like 6 people working there for a while. I mean, Billy Sample. I don't know
Yeah,
who
I
he
don't think they all
was.
worked at the same time though. I
No,
think when Sutton came in, I think John had already left.
yeah, Sterling
Don't
was
hold me
gone
to it. Yeah.
because he, but he was there during the Braves' bad years when they had a good year in '83, like you said, but
Yeah, their last
in it,
good year was 84. They was above 500, and after that, the
I mean,
80s, just like
then
in
it
the
was
song, was the rotten years. And
because
I
Eddie,
watched them,
because
just like the
what was it?
song said.
Eddie
I'm a Brave
Haas.
fans, even in the rotten years.
Wait, what song?
What's that?
What song?
I can't. I'm terrible with names, Aaron. But yeah, in the lyrics of the song, it's talking about being a Braves fan, even in the rotten years.
I think you're talking about "My Kind of Girl" by Colin Ray.
It might be. Yep.
Because
Yep.
she said, he says, you said you were a Braves fan even through the rotten years.
Yep.
So I think
Yeah.
that might be, but yeah, like they had Eddie Haas manage and he got fired. Then in '86 they had, they didn't, I forget who managed him in because Russ Nixon managed him for a while.
Tanner managed them for a
Chuck
while in the
Tanner.
80s. Yeah. Yep. Chuck was there in maybe 3 or 4 years. Chuck was there. Yeah.
Chuck
He was
Tanner.
there a little while. Yeah.
I love Ernie Johnson though. His son's pretty good too.
Who's
And
that?
Ernie Johnson.
Yeah.
Um, I think his son works for TBS. I think.
Yeah, and he does the TNT basketball games.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
actually really good. I mean,
Yep.
now I know where he gets his talent from. I mean, you know, his dad was really good. I
Yes, he
mean,
was. Oh, Eddie's up here. He's 0 for 2. He did walk and came around to score. He flew out the left and grounded into a double play. Yeah, the Braves should have won more than one World Series. You're absolutely right.
Shoot. I mean, they had it.
Yeah.
They had two of them in the bag.
Yep, they sure did. That's going to be a base hit in the center field. Nice job by Eddie. He gets aboard here with a leadoff single. They would love to see Jack finish this inning. He's due up second. Here comes Hank. He's 3 for 3 with 3 doubles and 2 RBIs. Here's the pitch to the hammer. And not this time. That's going to be a fly ball out to right field. 1 down. They finally get Aaron out.
They finally
That'll
got him
bring
out.
up Joe Adcock now. And Joe is 0 for 2. He did walk his last time up, though. And not this time. That's going to be a ground ball. No, they're going to pick Matthews off at first.
Whoa. Hello.
So Matthews leaning the wrong way, gets picked off. Now there's nobody on and 2 outs for Joe Adcock. Here's the pitch to Joe. And of course, what happens after you get picked off? A base hit in the right field. So Joe's down at first. And now there's 2 outs for Mr. Frank Thomas, 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer. He did strike
That's
out his
not the
last
big
time
hurt,
up,
by the
though.
way.
And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. Jack's going to fire over to first, and that'll end the inning. We're going to the top of the 8th. It's still 5-1 Milwaukee. Well, Pagan, a pitch hitter, and then Harvey. Spahn trying to get a complete game here. It's a 3-hit, 1-run game. Jose 0 for 2. Like I say, Torres is 7 innings, only walked 1, struck out 5.
It is so cold outside today.
Wouldn't sell any. That's pretty funny. And that was in Alabama. I wasn't even in Georgia. That's pretty funny. Wouldn't
What was in
sell
Alabama?
you a Twins cap. I like it. It's crazy. Here's the pitch
Got the
to
rest.
Pagan. And that's going to be a base hit in the left field. Jose's aboard here with the leadoff single. And now we'll have a pitch hitter here for Jack.
I will be right
See
back.
who the Giants will go to off the bench. Most of the righties are already in the game. Got a bunch of lefties on the bench. So let's see. I think they only got like 2, maybe 3 righties on the bench. I guess Bouchard's going to come out of the dugout here and pitch hit. See what Eddie can do against Spahn. There's Eddie. So nobody out. A runner down at first. Eddie's having a hell of a year in limited play. 341, 2 home runs, and 12 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Can Frank and the gang turn the double play? He tosses it over to Mac, over to first, and Eddie beats it out. So now we got a runner down at first and 1 out. To the top of the order we go. See what Harvey can do here with 1 out and Eddie down at first. Braves will take that and get rid of Pagan with his speed. Harvey's 0 for 3. He's flown out the center twice and grounded out the first. And that's going to be a tailor-made double play this time. Down the Mac, over to Bolin, over to Adcock, and that'll end the inning. 6-4-3 double play. We go to the 8th.
That's a twin killing, as
Yes,
they
it
say.
is. And in the 8th inning, that's a big one. Torrey, McMillan, and Spahn due up here. Joe having a heck of a game, batting 2 for 3 today. See who's going to come in here and pitch for the Giants. Got a bunch of righties due up next, except for Spahn. Let's see here. Maybe Mr. Jones will come in the game. We'll look here.
Dr. Jones.
Yeah, it's Dr. Jones, lady. They call him Dr. Jones.
They call him Dr. Jones.
That little dude was funny.
All right.
Let's see here. Got a bunch of arms in the bullpen at the end of the year.
Who hit for I missed it. Who hit for Sanford?
Oh, that was Eddie Richard.
Eddie Richard.
Yeah. Let's see here. Who do they want to go
Don't the
with?
Giants have Stu Miller at this point?
Yes.
I mean,
when I'm playing the
bizarre.
Giants, I kind of use him as the closer. He had 17 saves on the year.
Right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But they're not even leading right now, so it's kind of a moot point to bring him in.
Yeah, there's a second page here. Let's see. I might go with Zane. Dom Zane. We might go with him. He's a righty. That's who we'll go with. See what Dom can do.
Don McMahon.
Yeah, exactly. So he'll be facing the bottom part of the order here. And the eighth, trying to keep it a 4-run game. This is Dom's 9th game of the year. He's got a 3.24 ERA. He's 3-0. Like I say, he'll be facing Torrey, McMillan, and Spahn. See if Joe can get on board again here and go 3 for 4. And he's going to go 3 for 4. He squares it up, having a hell of a game. That ball is blasted in the right field off the wall. He's got a stand-up leadoff double. Joe Torrey getting hot at the right time of the year for the Braves. Here comes Mac up now with a runner in scoring position and nobody out. Mac's still struggling. He's 0 for 3. That batting average has dropped below the 220 mark now. He's grounded out, reached on an error, and struck out. And that's going to be a tailor-made double play. Oh, no, it's not. That's going to be a line drive, not a double play. Thought they doubled him off down there. But no, that ball is hit right down the second. And Joe gets back, so there's now 1 out. Thought they doubled him up. Here comes Spahn. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI, sacrifice fly, and a double today. Here's the pitch to Warren. And that's going to be a pop-up on the infield. And Pagan's calling for it. He makes the catch near the mound for out number 2.
Spahn's working on a complete game.
Yeah, exactly. A 4-hitter. Not bad at all. Lee's up 1 for 4 today. Can he drive in Joe? Give him a 5-run cushion. And he's going to. That ball is high. That ball is hard. That ball is going number 16 on the year.
He did it again.
Center field.
That's impressive.
Yeah, he's having a good year power-wise. Batting average is terrible, 233, but power-wise, not bad. Not bad at all. So it is now 7-1. Frank Boland up, nobody on and 2 outs. Frank's 1 for 3, flew out, grounded out, singled, and flew out to right his last time, left his last time up. And he gets a hold of this, drives that ball in the right field. Lou's not getting to that one. That's in there for a single with 2 outs. And here comes Eddie. Can Matthews do something with 2 outs? He's 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. And here's the pitch to Matthews. And that ball is driven into right field. Lou goes back, watches that one go out of the ballpark. Eddie's 37th home run, and all of a sudden, Dom with 2 outs cannot get that elusive third one. It is now 9-1. Milwaukee. The route is on.
Bye, baby.
And now we got the hammer up. and he's been hammering it. 3 for 4 with 3 doubles. He did fly out the right field his last time up. Hey, Dave, here's the pitch to the hammer, and that's going to be a fly ball in the center field, and May's not going to get to it. Nice piece of hitting by Aaron, and he's aboard here. And we're probably going to have to make a pitching change here because Dom cannot get that elusive last out. See who the Giants are going to go to here. Might go with Jones on the
Braves are just pouring
jukebox.
salt on the wound at this point.
What's that?
Braves are just pouring salt on the wound at
Oh,
this point.
exactly. They already won the pennant, and now they're just beating the
It's
crap
getting
out of
ugly.
them. Yeah, Sam's going to come in the game now. Jones on the jukebox. Try to get this
Jones on the
last out
jukebox.
here. This is Sam's 26th game of the year. He's got a 3.97 ERA. He's 6-8 with no saves on the year. He'll be facing Joe Adcock with Aaron down at first. Joe 1 for 3 with a walk. Here's the pitch to Adcock, and that's going to be a ground ball down to Amalfitano. He'll go the short way over to second. That'll end the inning, but not until the Braves score 4 with the home runs by Matthews and May. We go to the top of the ninth. Milwaukee up by 8. We got Amalfitano, Mays, and Cepeda. Can Spahn get the 1-run game in his belt? And a 4-hitter. Amalfitano's got one of those hits. He singled back in the 4th. And he's going to single or do more than that this time. He squares it up. And that ball is high. That ball is far. That ball's off the wall. And Joey's rounding second, and he's headed for third. And he's going to be in there with a stand-up triple to start this 9th inning. Giants ain't going down without a fight. Obviously, the Braves will play back, trade a run for an out here. We got Mays up. He's over 2. He did walk his first time up. Then he grounded out and flew out. And that's going to be a pop-up in the shallow center field. Is that going to be deep enough to get him in? Amalfitano's coming in, and it is going to be deep enough. He's going to score on a sacrifice fly. Aaron throws the ball in the second. So it is now 9-2, but now there's 1 out and nobody on for Cepeda. He's 0 for 3, reached on a fielder's choice, reached on an error, and flew out to Aaron. And that's going to be a pop up on the infield. That's going to be handled by McMillan. So now there's 2 outs. Giants are down to their last batter. It's a Luke, and he keeps this game alive here. Felipe is 2 for 3. He's the only one that's kind of figured Spahn out. He's flown out the left field his other time up. And that's going to be an easy ground ball down the Mac at short. And that'll end the game.
That's going to do it.
Braves win 9-2.
The Braves win! The Braves win! The Braves win!
Yes, they do. They pounded them.
Braves win! Braves win! Braves win!
See if that's enough to get Warren
That's about
Spahn
the best
Cy
skip carry
Young.
I can give you right now.
Yeah, see if Warren can win the Cy Young now with that. That'll be his 21st
That might have
win.
won it for him.
Yeah. Take a look here at the box score. We got the Giants 2 runs on only 5 hits and an error. The Braves 9 runs on 16 hits in the air. Amalfitano and Felipe Alou is the only batters with 2 hits against Spahn. Give the Giants credit. They was 1 for 1 with runners in scoring position. They only stranded 3 men on base. Spahn just didn't give them any opportunities at all. But the Braves, Hank Aaron was the man. 4 for 5. 2 RBIs, 3 doubles. Lee May, Matthews, and Frank Thomas all had home runs. Lee and Matthews were 2-run homers. The Braves were 3 for 9 and left 8 men on base. Hey, legends. Jack drops to 12 and 15, pitches 7 innings, gives up 11 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, walked 2, struck out 5, gave up 1 home run. Dom comes in, pitches 2/3 of an inning, gets shellacked, 5 hits, 4 runs, and 2 home runs. Jones comes in, gets the final out. Too little, too late there. SPAHN goes the distance on a 5-hit, 2-run, only 1 of them earned. Walked 1 and struck out 5. Gets his ERA down to 2.25. Do some fast play here. See, there's only one game
Sam
left in
Jones
the
on the
National League. The Reds
jukebox.
against the Pirates in Pittsburgh.
Ooh, let's go Red Legs.
O'Toole going for the Reds. And the Pirates squeak out a close one. The Reds 4 runs on 5 hits and 1 error. The Pirates 6 runs on 8 hits and 1 error.
Well, that makes my dad and Beatles proud.
Yeah, it does. Take a look here
How
at the
many days you got
standings and the
left of the season?
leaderboard. Yeah, see what happened here with the Cy Young voting and all, too. Excuse me, because I think Lou was leading old Warren in the Cy Young voting.
Or
Braves are
Dad?
now 13 games up on the G-men. The Reds 15 and a half games back. Then the rest of the division is close. Cardinals 22 games back. Dodgers 24 and a half. Cubbies 25. The Pirates 26. And then the poor Phillies are 46 games back.
The Phillies are at the bottom of the barrel. They can't go any lower than that.
Yeah, that was a terrible 61 team. Oh,
And
Clemente leading with a 365 batting average in the National League and American League. Joe Adcock still got the home run title right now with 38 home runs. I probably should be pitching around Cepeda and Mays, not pitching to him, so Joe can win the title. Cepeda with
oh wow.
127 RBIs. Aaron coming close now. He had a hell of a lead, but Hank up to 124. Adcock and Matthews with 121.
Yeah.
And SPAHN, like I say, leading the National League with that 2.25 ERA. The only pitcher in the National League under 3 besides SPAHN is Joe Gibbon with a 2.99 ERA. SPAHN with 21 wins on the year. Don with his 38 saves. Take a look here at the MVP voting and the Cy Young. We got the Hammer leading his teammate. Well, they're actually tied. Matthews and Aaron's tied with 367 votes. Cepeda with 363. And SPAHN has taken over the Cy Young lead over his teammate Lou Burdett. And I'll let you know, Lou won't be pitching again. He was scheduled pitching a doubleheader on October 1st, but I'm not pitching him so he can pitch in Game 2 of the World Series.
Right. You're
So,
saving arm.
yeah, I'm going to put Henley in there.
Very
So
smart.
Lou's done. So I think the Cy Young's wrapped up for old Warren Spahn. You know, sad to say. Lou might be pissed off at me, but like I say, I'm going to save him for the
He'll be
World
all
Series
right.
instead of pitching him in Game 3 or 4 of the World Series. Yeah.
He'll be fine. I mean, it's I mean, you want to save your arms because if unless you're like if you was managing the Cardinals and Gibson
Right.
wanted
Well,
to
they
go
wasn't in the World
every day,
Series chase. So they,
right,
I don't think he'd have pitched in real life if they was going to the World Series. They was out
right,
of it by then. So I,
yeah,
I didn't want to do something stupid and just use as play lineup and screw them because I was going to look at the
right,
Giants rotation. Because I really thought the Giants was going to beat the Braves this year, and I wasn't going to screw them either. I was going to because they wasn't in the chase. The pennant was already over by the end of the year. It
decided.
wasn't like they was one game back of the Reds and was trying to win the pennant. So I was going to change their starting rotation. to make sure they had the
Right.
good arms ready for the Yankees. The Yankees, I kept their rotation because they was in the World Series, so they knew they was going there. So I figure I'm just using that as played lineup that Hank did,
Yeah.
and it works out because you got Ford, Terry, and then Stafford's going to pitch. That'll be the three pitchers for the Yankees, and you got SPAHN, Burdette, and Bob Buell, who hasn't pitched. I don't know.
Bob Buell.
Yeah, I don't know if he got hurt late in the year and they didn't put him on the IR because of the 40-man roster. Because he hasn't. Let's look. He hasn't pitched in a while, but he's going to be their third starter in the World Series. Just like I say, he hasn't pitched. I think the
Oh
whole
wow.
month of September, if I remember right. So he may have been hurt, but they didn't put him on the DL because it was late in the year and they was out of it. Let's look at Bob here.
He may
When was
have been
his
injured.
last start? Because I pitched him in relief some. So he pitched. His last start was September 1st. Yeah, I didn't think he pitched at all. So he pitched one game in September. I've used him in 1, 2, 3, 4 games in September out of the bullpen. But yeah, I'm going to put him back in the rotation because we'll look at the pitching here in the replay. Get rid of all the batters here. And do by games. Do by game start. So like I say, Bob's got a 4.0. Really, old Bob Henley's saying, what the hell's the matter with me? But he only pitched in 13 games compared to Bob's 28. But I mean, old Henley, the other Bob, says, I got a 2.45 ERA. Why in the hell ain't I pitching in the World Series? And he might have a point.
Why am I not out there pitching?
Yeah, he might have a point. He might be like, why in the fuck am I pitching a double header game when I should be pitching in the World Series? But I'm going with Bob. I figured that's what the Braves would have done, like I say. Henley was like their fifth starter, really, because Carl had 22 starts on the year. And Carl was on the roster almost the whole year. Henley wasn't. He got called up. I can't remember when Bob got called up. Let's look.
Ron
He didn't
pitched.
get called up until June, so he
Pitch
missed
for the
half the year,
pitch.
like I say. So I don't see him being in the World Series. Plus, he's 22 years old, going up against the Yankees. You want a veteran. You don't want some young kid being intimidated by Mick and Roger coming up there. Out there
Yeah.
shaking, sweat rolling off of him like it's in the middle of August.
Oh man.
So the next, I'm going to do another game later on this afternoon at least. I like to do a damn marathon today and get this regular season done because now I'm
How many
down to.
days you got left?
I got 2 days left, but the Braves play a double hitter. So I got the Yankees got 2 games against Baltimore, and the Braves got 2 games against the Giants. I got 4 more games to do.
Holy shit.
So the
Milwaukee had
Yankees
Billy
got
Martin on
Terry
their
going
roster back
on
then.
September 30th. And then they got Stafford going on October 1st. And like I say, then the Braves got a double hitter. And I'm not pitching Burdette, even though it says Burdette. I'll pitch Henley. And Peachy's going in the second game of the doubleheader. So
Did you know you got Billy Martin on your Braves roster?
he was there for a handful of games at the beginning of the year. And
Must
then
have
he
got
got
hurt.
traded to Minnesota.
Or he got traded to the Twins.
Yep. Yeah. So he never actually started with the Braves. He only had a few pitch hits. I'll show you what he did for the Braves. Yeah, I enjoyed playing him against the Yankees. That was fun. If Whitey or Mickey had a bad game, I always said that Billy took him out and got him freaking drunk. That's why they had a bad game. I said,
Billy was
I guess
crazy.
Billy took him out and they partied a little too long last night.
Billy Martin was crazy. I mean, as a
He had a few
player,
key hits against the Yankees. Billy did. He had one game. I think he was like 3 for 4. Yeah, he had 6 at bats. He was only 1 for 6 with the Braves. 167 batting average. Now with the Twins, he's batting 242 with 3 home runs and 39 RBIs with the Twins. Yeah. Yeah. Here, let's see what he did against the Braves. I mean the Yankees. So I can go here with the box score. Bring him up here as a search. Hey, Buckshot.
Buckshot. Hey, it's one of the micromanagers of baseball for Windows, Buckshot Williams.
Yeah. So we'll go here to search.
I know it's not
Go here
real,
to
but yeah.
batter. Put in Martin. And okay. Then we'll go up here and filter this just with the
Whitey
Yankees.
Herzog.
Box score just with the Yankees. See what he did here. So he was 0 for 4 in that game. He was 1 for 4 in that game. So he's 1 for 8. He was 2 for 4 in this game, but the Yankees won 3-2. And he had both RBIs in that game. He had a hell of a game. Was that against Whitey? That was against Whitey. He went 2 for 3 against his buddy. Drove in 2 runs. Yeah. And he
I
drove
was
one
re
of them in the 8th. So old Billy must have not have drank that night. That was a good game for him,
he
man.
was the sober one.
Yeah. Whitey probably told him, I'm going to throw you a few good pitches, give you a chance to get a hit. Don't you freaking do nothing stupid against me. Hell, he homered. No, he tripled off of him. So he probably almost hit a home run and pissed Whitey
Pissed
off. And
Whitey
that's why he
off.
got him out the last time and said, fuck you, Billy.
I
Told you
fuck
not to
you,
do
Billy.
nothing stupid. Just get a single
I
or two. He
speaking of
supposedly
Whitey,
did that. According to Whitey, when they traded him,
yeah.
the first game they played was against Whitey. This is what Whitey says. So him and Billy and Mickey all go out for drinks that night. And he's like, listen, Billy, I'm going to give you some good pitches to hit. Don't you do nothing stupid and make me look like an ass out there. Get your single, be happy. You know what Billy did against him, according to Whitey? He fucking homered against him. Fucking grooved one and Billy took him deep. Yeah, that's what Whitey said. He says, and Billy's running around the bases just a smiling.
You know that I love the crazy stories that the players tell of the time back in the '60s and how life was and stuff like that. I mean, look at what's his name? Look at Jim Bouton. I mean, I've not read Ball 4 yet,
I'm not,
but
my buddy has.
I'd like to because
Yeah.
I hear it tells like riveting, you
Yeah.
know.
It, I don't know if you ever watched the movie North Dallas 40, where it's about football and it's supposedly about the locker room. That's what Ball 4 is. It's supposed to take you into the freaking clubhouse and show you what really
Yeah,
goes on in
what
baseball.
really
Yeah.
goes on in there. There's probably a lot of
Yeah.
gambling, a lot of drinking, a lot of
Well, stuff like
you
with
know.
Billy and Whitey, that happened a lot. I'm not
Oh man,
saying they put the ball on the tee and said, here you go, but they would tell the guy ahead of time, hey, I'm not doing
here
nothing
comes something
fancy out
good.
here. You're going to get some pitches to hit. It's up to you to take care of it. Like if it's their last game of their career and shit like that.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
Billy Mark. Billy, go ahead.
That's why a lot of the time they have great games because the pitcher he's not trying to throw a gopher ball to him, but at the same time, he's not trying to make him look bad either. And that's why they have good
Bill,
games at their last game of their career and all, because they're kind of
Billy
taking care of
Martin,
each
he
other.
drank a lot. I used to read. I mean, he drank.
Yeah, I mean, that
You
was
know,
Billy's downfall. He
it.
was an
I mean,
alcoholic. Yeah. Without being an alcoholic,
I
he'd
read a lot
probably
about him. He was
never
also
get fired
very.
as a manager. And he wins a hell of a lot of World Series. There he was 2 for 4 against them.
I mean, he was fired from the Yankees like 5 times.
Yeah, it was nuts. Him and George. He made a lot of money off of George because the one time George was going to fire him when he went out and I think it was the marshmallow salesman when he got in a fight with the marshmallow salesman. So no, it was the time when he called he says we got 2 liars in this organization. One's a convicted one
A
and
born
one's a
liar and
born
a
liar.
convicted liar.
Yeah. And that was George who got
Reggie
convicted of
Jackson.
fraud with paying off for votes in an election. And then, like I say, Reggie was the freaking
With
born liar.
Nixon.
Yeah. And so George calls up Billy's manager and says, I gotta fire him. I can't keep him. So Billy's agent calls Billy up and
Billy
says,
quit before they could do him.
listen to me, call for a press conference right now. Tell them you got to have a press conference. You're going to announce you're sick and you're going to resign from the Yankees for health reasons, because he was going to get fired and wasn't going to get paid for saying that stupid shit. But if he resigned due to health issues, George had to pay him. So Billy goes out, and that's when you see old Phil Rizzuto and him walking off and Billy's bawling. That's that press conference. And George calls up his agent and says,
I
"You son
saw
of a
that.
bitch. You got me." Yeah. Billy, he had that press conference. And
I
like I
mean,
said,
he
it
didn't
was
want to
pretty
give
funny.
Steinbrenner the satisfaction of firing him.
Well, like I say, Billy got money.
I
He wouldn't
mean,
have got paid. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. That's the freaking, what did
I
Billy do in this
still,
game? Oh, he had a pitch
I
hit.
still remember that video of the '78. Go ahead.
I was just looking to see what Billy did against the rest of these games with the Yankees. He went 0 for 5 that game.
I still remember. I still remember that '78 World Series with Billy Martin and Tommy Lasorda arguing over that. What was it? What was it?
That was
That
77. Billy
that
didn't manage
play
the
at
Yankees in
second.
78. That was old Lemon got him to the World Series. They
No, he
fired Billy
managed.
in the middle of
Bob Lemon
78.
managed him in '78.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah. The old
and
famous,
then,
he's got to
but
get
yeah, I
out of the
remember the
way.
'77.
Umpire kept telling Tommy, "Where you want him to go? Where you
Yeah,
want
you
him to go?"
gotta
I
get
don't know,
out of
but
the
he's got to
way.
get out. Then he was spitting on the ump, and he kept saying, "Tommy, stop spitting on me." Yeah, and Tommy
I
would be in
mean,
the middle of a
and then
rant, and he'd say,
there's
"Stop
that
spitting on
video,
me," and it would mess Tommy all up. He didn't know what the fuck to say. But I loved that because I
and then
I
there was
hated
that
the Dodgers.
video of there's that video of I don't know how they got somebody got this, but there's video of uh Doug Rowell and Tommy Lasorda after he gave up 3 hits in the world when it was
Oh,
78. It
that's
was
a good one.
no, because
Yes.
Lasorda didn't manage the Dodgers till '78. Because yeah, because that was seven. I mean, because what was it? Because all Walter Austin managed the Dodgers in '77, and then he retires, and then Lasorda takes over. But '78, it was I don't know which World Series game it was, but it was I think was it Mickey Rivers, Reggie Jackson, and somebody else, and it was I think Greg Nettles was coming to bat, and he comes out there and just starts cussing like
Well, he
hell
didn't he didn't start
at Doug
cussing him. He
Rowell.
wanted the ball, and he's like, "I can get him out." And he said, "You haven't gotten a fucking lefty out all game. Give me the goddamn
What the
ball."
hell
That's
is
what.
wrong with
Yeah.
he was just like
And they was
I mean
cussing in the
I don't know
dugout.
how they
I'm fucking managing this team, and I forget who the bench coach was. Calm down, Tommy. I'm calm. He says, but I'm the fucking manager of this team, and
I'm the
he was
fucking
effing
manager.
everything. Everything was fuck. I'm fucking this. I'm fuck him.
I
Yeah.
mean it was classic. I mean
Yep.
that's like That's like in the early, I think it was the early '90s. It was Jim Leland, and he was he was giving Barry Bonds like because I think it was right around the time that Barry Bonds didn't want to play at Pittsburgh
Yeah, Tommy
anymore.
went there in '76, Aaron. He's managed them from '76 to '96, 20 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Are you? Let me see. I'm gonna look just for curious sakes because you got me curious. Tommy Lasorda. I know he's dead now. Sadly,
Yeah. It
he
hasn't
was a
been that
great
long ago.
manager though.
Yeah, I didn't like him, but he was a good manager. But yeah, I didn't like him one
Let's
bit.
see. Tommy
I
Lasorda.
thought he was an ass back in the day because I hated the Dodgers.
He played he played with the Brooklyn Dodgers in '54, and he last played in '56 with the Kansas City Athletics. He was a pitcher. Uh, let's see. Los Angeles Dodgers, 1976 to 1996. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, 20 years with him. Yeah.
He coached. He was a coach from '73. So that's 23 years at a level of okay. Here you are, a coach for the Dodgers. I mean, and you win a World Series in '81 for crying out loud. I mean, I watched that actually.
I hated
The
that World Series.
sometimes they show it on ESPN Classic. It's
Yeah.
like late at
Yeah.
night or something.
I hate that World Series.
A lot of people do.
That was the first time the Dodgers beat them out in LA.
I thought they beat him. I thought they beat him at Yankee Stadium.
No, I'm saying it was the first time the Dodgers won the World Series against the Yankees in LA.
Uh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that's right. Because they
Yep.
lost two straight from
Yep.
'77 to '78.
Yep.
Um, the
Yeah.
Yankees had they had quite the rebound because they got swept by the Big Red Machine in '76. Then they go right back and win two straight. I mean that
Right.
you know.
Yep. That took a
Um,
hell of an Orioles team in '79 to keep them out.
and then yeah, and then they lost
Yep.
to the Pirates.
Yep.
And then
At the time, the only team to lose of being up 3-1.
the Yankees go back in '81 and lose, and then they don't make the World Series again until '96 when
Correct.
they beat the Braves, and then
Yeah. Thank you.
and then
I was rooting for the Braves back then.
yeah, you were probably conflicted as hell on that one. I mean, because you like the Yankees
Correct.
and
You had
Braves.
Joe Torre as a manager who I loved, and I kind of
Yes,
liked that he was going to rub freaking. I love Ted Turner. I think Ted Turner was one of the best owners in baseball because he did whatever was needed. They made a lot of dumb decisions, but if you needed something, you got it back then. I
Ted
thought
Turner
Ted
could
was a
get it.
great
I mean,
owner. But
Ted Turner owned a lot
I
of
had got
stuff.
pissed off when the day they fired Torrey, I was pissed off. I'm thinking to myself, it ain't the manager. Your team don't have the fucking bats when they need it.
No,
Seemed like
when
every
did they
damn
fire
September
Joe
the
Torre?
bats would go cold. And I
I
blamed
mean,
it on them taking the TP down out in freaking center field in the hex of the
Nakahoma,
fucking TP.
Nakahoma, and then
Yeah. They
I mean,
take it down
what
so
was
they
it?
could have more seats in every
And then they brought
September
it
to
back up.
freaking go in the tank.
What was it? What was it? Because the Braves made the World Series in '91, '92, and win it in '95, made it in '96, and made it in '99, and lost. And they only won it once in '95. They
Right.
lost to the Twins, Blue Jays, and Yankees twice, and they didn't make. But then they win the World Series in 2020. Was it 2021?
One. Yep.
Because they beat the Astros. And I like that new the guy they got doing the Braves games on the radio now, Ben Ingram.
Yeah,
He
never heard it.
actually he's really good.
Is
You
he?
need to listen to him. He's really good. He I know he's filling the shoes of because Skip Carey's been him and Pete. Skip's been dead since 2000 and what 8 or 9, I think.
Yeah,
And
but
then
Skip was gone before he passed away. Because
I think
that's
he
when
did
oh, what's his Chip? Chip took
Chip
over
Carey.
for Skip. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think it was the same time because I remember when Harry Callis died in 2009 for the Phil when he was doing he was still
They
doing
actually
Phillies
did a game
games.
together, the three of them for the Braves.
Skip, Harry, and Chip.
Yeah. It was
I
pretty
never
cool.
saw that actually.
Yeah, they
It
was
was
in
like a little
Chicago, and like they
yeah.
say, Harry came over and joined them. All three of them
That
did a game together. Pretty neat.
that's like that'd be like
But him
Marty
and
and
Harry and
go ahead.
Skip wasn't that close. They didn't have a very
Really?
good relationship.
That's crazy. I
Yeah. Now
mean,
him and Skip and Chip did, but Harry and Skip did not have a very tight relationship. Yeah. Yeah.
that's
Skip
crazy.
used
I
to
mean,
talk about that near the end of his life about not having a close relationship with his dad.
because Harry died in '98. I think he was like what 80 something years old
Oh
or
yeah.
something. I mean, he had that stroke in '87 or '88, I think it was, and then he comes back, and it's like I saw him call a. There's a video of him calling a Cubs Braves game from '97, and he just sounds like he's either losing it or he'd rather be home or doing something
Yeah.
else. I mean, he just sounds like he's totally lost.
Yeah.
I mean, he, it's like, but um, he's been doing it. He did it for forever. I mean, when he was in St. Louis, him and
Was
Jack
with the
Buck
White
were there
Sox
for,
before he was with the Cubbies too.
and the Athletics. He tried the
Yeah.
Oakland Athletics too, but Charlie Finley didn't want to pay him or something like that. Um, but
Imagine if he'd have stayed with the White Sox.
oh man, we wouldn't have had Ken Harrelson.
Yeah.
That Ken Harrelson, like I saw Harrelson got the Frick Award 2020 or 2021, and I saw his speech. It was like he was just constantly plugging Jerry Reinsdorf. I'm like, yeah, because he got Michael Jordan to play for y'all for
Right.
a while. I mean,
Yep.
and then but then I think 2020. I think Al Michaels won it in 2021, and he basically chronologic his whole baseball career, and but he said like I got to do a lot of other stuff. Hold on, I gotta sneeze. And he said I got to do other stuff. I got to do like football, and I worked with the Big Red Machine in the early '70s when that started. I had Joe Nuxall as a partner. I mean, they did a when Joe Nuxall was gonna like cut back his time before he actually retired. It was like it was his last year, I think. They did like a end of this like near the end of the season like little celebration of him, and they had like Marty Brenneman hosted it, but they gave like had like messages from like Al Michaels and a couple guys, and they said Al Michaels said, everybody that heard me they all said, you suck. You're not going to amount to anything, but you're the one that stood beside me and said, hey, just pace yourself. You're going to be great. And, as history would have it, he's done everything under the sun. He's like 80 something. Al's like 80 something years old,
Right.
and he could retire tomorrow and it'd be like too soon. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah,
I've
Dave,
listened
what
to
these
Al.
stars mean on here, Dave, is the green is that he was on the opening day roster, and those brown mean they don't meet the minimum batting requirement or pitching requirement, and then the gray star means they're not on the active roster. That's what the stars mean
That's
there.
I think when I get because I've got the seasons for the baseball for Windows, and I think they were the way they were set up. They're it's preseason, like who's on the roster at the start of the season, as opposed to who would be on there later. Because for example, in '94, the Reds have Roberto Kelly in center field before they traded him to the Braves for Deion
Yeah,
Sanders.
that's what APBA. When you get the card sets, they do the same thing, Aaron. they put the players with their first team, and then
Yeah,
because I had to do it with 61, then when you make a trade, you got to switch them out. So now my all the cards are set up for the end of the year. So if I ever went back and redid the 61 season, I'd have a mess of players I'd have to go back to find for the opening day lineup. Yep.
I need to know how to do a draft in baseball for Windows. That's
So I
I
haven't played
mean,
that in years because I still got the old floppy disk. So once my computer crashed, I wasn't able to re-download it. I need to
wait,
rebuy it.
Apple was a floppy disk?
Yeah, this Apple was the first PC game I ever had. Yep.
I didn't know
You're
that.
talking probably I don't know what year I got it. It was in the early 90s, but I can't tell you. I can't remember, Aaron. But yeah, it was on the floppy disk, the little
Damn.
3 by whatever floppy disk. Yeah.
I
Yeah,
remember
I still
floppy
got the
disks.
disc for whatever reason. I never got rid of them. Yeah.
It's a
Then they
shame
came started
laptops ain't
coming
got a
out in
floppy
CDs.
drive. I mean, I remember what was it? Um, one time going through. I think I was like maybe 4 years old, and people were asking me, "How do you remember this?" I said, "Oh, because it happened." Me and my mom and I went through the Walmart. We were looking at electronics, and they found like a section of like PC games. Like this is when DOS was around, and we found like a couple versions of Hardball. I think one was Hardball 3, which had been out for a couple of years, and one was Hardball 4. And if you bought the floppy version, it didn't have the players on it, so you had to But if you bought the if you bought the CD disc version, it had the players on it already. You just had to install it, and we didn't buy it unfortunately because it was like $20 or something like that, 20 $30 or something like that it was in a box obviously because that's the way that I guess that's the way that they came in like because we had our first computer we didn't get a like that we didn't have a computer yet we didn't get a computer until 96 and it was an old Navigator and it used Windows 95 I want to say and I remember the only thing we did on it was play computer games. Then then came America Online, and that's when it all went crazy.
Yeah, my first computer didn't even have Windows.
Did did you have an Apple or a Macintosh?
It was I can't remember what brand it was, Aaron, but yeah, I thought
Well, I was just
I
curious.
thought those when they came out with the mouse and all that shit, I thought that was just some stupid fucking gadget. Why in the hell you ever want to do that? You got a
Well,
keyboard, you don't need no fucking stupid mouse.
I actually where I used to go to school at Elkhorn Elementary before I went to KSB, even KSB had this too. They had the old Apple computer, which had the giant keyboard with the little the square shaped speaker with a volume control and a pitch bender for the speech. I mean, that's how old that thing was. I'm like, good gosh,
Yeah, Dave,
you
that's
know.
probably about the same year I got it. I was still in high school. Mom got me a computer. The more or less what a computer was back then was just a word processor for me to type reports and shit on instead of
Do your
using the
schoolwork.
typewriter. Yeah, I mean it was a computer, it wasn't a word processor, but that's basically all I used it for was to type reports and print and shit. And that was the old paper where you had the perforated edges that fed the paper into the printer.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember those things.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
we had because of my we had what was called an embosser, and the paper on those things was so thick,
Yep.
like you could easily get a paper cut. But I knew some. We had this embosser that was so loud that you could hear it from like across like it was like across the hallway from where our classroom was at school. And every day we'd be sitting in class, and somewhere in the distance you hear that.
Yep. That's it.
And it's like, oh, somebody's embossing again. It's like an old fax machine, you know. But anyway, Dwayne, when's your next game? Because I'm going to go ahead and scramble on out of here. So
I'm going to get something to eat, get some lunch in me, Aaron, and later on this afternoon I'm going to do a game.
yeah,
I might do back-to-back Yankee games since I don't have to do a Brave game in between it because the Yankees will play their last two games first, and then the
right.
Braves will finish with that doubleheader. So I might do back-to-back games
I think I'm
then.
going to get something to eat myself because I am getting a
Yeah.
little hungry. All right, man.
So I
Well,
got up this morning, went to the darn grocery store, and got that over
d-
with. Yeah.
how's the weather? Is it cold in Maryland right
It's
now?
supposed to get cold Sunday.
Oh gosh,
Yeah, we're supposed to
cold
be
on my
supposed to get
birthday.
windy
Look out.
tonight, so it might feel cold.
Right. I think it's getting chilly here. I mean, it's not been that bad, but
Dave says he was supposed to use his for school, never did. I'll tell you, one of the first games I got on mine, Dave, was the Larry Bird and Dr. J 1-on-1. That was one of the
oh
first
my
games I got. That was a
gosh,
cool game.
that
Yeah.
is old school.
You take
I
care,
mean,
Dave.
all right, well, I'll see you soon.
Yeah. Okay, Aaron. Yeah,
Yeah,
Dave said he had to
take,
run and go
take it
do
easy.
some work. Damn double at work. That sucks. Alrighty, I want to thank Aaron for joining me in this broadcast. Dave, Buckshot, Grandiolo, I'm probably saying that wrong, 970. I want to thank him for stopping by. Like I say, I probably butchered your name. Slash Deep Gaming, Mike was here. I believe that was everybody. Like I say, I'm going to get off of here and get myself something to eat, and I'll be back on later this afternoon with the Yankees taking on the Orioles. Let's see who the pitching matchup is. I think it's Ralph Terry going for the Yankees. Might be Steve Barber going for the Orioles. Take a look. Oh, that's right. We're playing the Red Sox. I got that all messed up. But it is Ralph Terry going for the Yanks. And we got Wall going for the Red Sox. And then in the second game with the Yankees, it's going to be Bill Stafford going for win number 23, going up against Stoddard. So try to get those two games out this afternoon at the very least. I at least like to do that. Like I say, I'd like to go batshit crazy and get the whole damn regular season done today. Until then, guys, you have a great afternoon and take care.